Let's jump in. I'm somewhere in the middle of the pyramid. I don't remember the actual name of the zone, but it's the pyramid that you need to solve mysteries in order to get inside of. And it's living up to its mysterious promises. Wonder if it's still random picks. I think it is, because I have just been walking around and seen puzzles show up that were previously solved. Oh yeah, it's the Final Fantasy pre-releases, huh, Devanok? Yeah, you're gonna be super busy this weekend. Well, I don't know that I'm gonna make it out for any of them, but good luck. Alright, where am I and what am I doing? Well, I'm certainly not getting into here, whatever here is. This looks very sealed off. Fascinating. Why does this exist? It's just like a pit to fall into and then get boosted out of? How painful. Wait, is that outside the pyramid? I think that's outside the pyramid. The heck? Oh, this pyramid is weird. What a weird pyramid. Haven't run Sunday pre-releases since Lord of the Rings. I mean, well, that makes a lot of sense. It's another very popular crossover, so run some extra pre-releases. Does seem like this game or this set in particular is going to be getting a lot of interest. Look at all those sightseers. Oh god, I don't want to play with all those sightseers. I guess eventually. Alright, well, we're starting off with this 3-star, so let's just go, I guess. Curious how the Spider-Man set's going to do? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Well, this, certainly looks to be a puzzle of some kind. This 6 and this 6 have to be connected, I think. Why are you pinning that, Devanok? That's so funny. I don't know why that's so funny, but that feels so like absurd. Anyway, misclick. I mean, that's fine. It was funny. I laughed. Yeah, these two have to be connected here. Because otherwise, this has exactly 2 spaces it can go. So that doesn't necessarily mean it connects through here. Might go around. Yeah, I feel like given who Magic's core community is, Spider-Man will probably be overshadowed by Final Fantasy. But also, given the way that given the way that Final Fantasy fans collect versus the way that Marvel fans collect, I'm not sure if you could do some kind of analysis there of like, okay, I'm a Final Fantasy's fan or I am a Marvel fan, and there is a crossover with this IP that I am completely unfamiliar with. How much am I going to buy in purely because it contains the IP that I like? What's up, Tom Berry? How's it going? This one doesn't have to talk to that 6. This could be like 4 here and 2 across. These 3s, none of these 3s can touch any of the other 3s. These 4s can connect, but don't necessarily have to. Pocky already opened a foil Tara Bradford. Oh, wow. I saw the pictures you posted. I didn't realize that was a foil. That's pretty good. Congratulations to Pocky. Yeah, I'm not planning on opening much, if any, product. That's not the way in which I want to gamble. I might play online some. I haven't decided. What am I doing here? What do these mean for me? I wonder if I can guarantee that this 3 can't touch this center white. I guess this 4 could be like here. And then this 3 could touch the center white. Open your 1 traditional collector's booster. Get very little and tradition carries onward. I mean, for all of the people that open, you know, $1,000 bills, there's got to be 1,000 people who open $1 bills at best, right? That's how it works. Oh, this one's new. That's cool. Now I have a new website to put into Automod. Man, okay, so I know that this 6 and this 6 have to be connected, but I don't know what that means past that. I guess that means that this 6 can't connect to this light. Or this 6, in fact. These 2 can't connect down. So this 6 can't connect to this 6. So it has to connect to, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Has to connect to here. So 4, 5, 6. And then 2 of these 3. So this disconnects here. And this has to be part of the 6, not the 4. So that disconnects there. Okay. Some amount of progress being made. How does this look now? It looks like there's 8 squares, 8 cells that could be part of this paired 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because it can't go down to either of these. But none of those are required. Yeah, so there's still a lot of... That's still fairly open. Let's see. This has 1 to the right, 1 to the left, so it's got to go up. These can connect, actually. This doesn't have to not connect. How's this doing? Yeah, this has the possibility of getting 4 on its own without talking to this 4. So this isn't determined one way or the other here. What about this? Is there a way for this 4 to connect, to get 4 without connecting to this 4? No. So it has to connect to this 4. And that's either 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2. But regardless, these have to be disconnected? Serialized Choco just means reinvest for the next Serialized Choco. That's right, you gotta spend Choco to make Choco. That's my understanding. So this 4 still doesn't have to connect to this, right? Go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then be separated from this. Or connect to this, and then this 3 has to not touch it. Go somewhere else. $15 Chocos in one pack. I mean, the concept of God packs has existed for a long time, right? I think there was actually a set that had... I don't know if it was a screw-up or something deliberate to feed the rumor mill, or something deliberate in terms of, like, actually there's just a chance you get a pack full of rares. But I remember that there was, like, packs full of rares in some set. I want to say, like, Shards of Alara? Or maybe this is just, like, legacy stuff from Unlimited or Revised or something. If it was something that early, it definitely wasn't intentional. But I think... Sounds like Conflux Ridiculousness? Maybe, yeah. I think there was a deliberate thing at one point. There was, like, a really low chance that you could get a pack that was actually just rares. Like, it wasn't, you know, a print run mistake. It was a deliberate thing to try and sell more packs, I guess. Oh, an all gold pack because it's all gold cards because Conflux. I see. I see. Maybe. Yeah. That could have been part of the gimmick. I don't think so, but I don't remember. Yeah, before Mythics. Alright, so if it's 2 of these 3 are light and part of the 6, we don't have a guarantee about either of these, but we know that at least one of these is dark. It's possible that both of these are dark, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But at least one of these is dark. If this is dark, then this 6 has to connect through here. If this is dark, this 6 still has to connect through here, so this has to be light. Regardless of whether both of these are dark, if either of these are dark, this has to be light. Because if this is dark, this could be blank, but if this is light, this has to be light. And if this is blank, this has to be light. Not blank, dark. This is dark, this has to be light. Because of needing to get 6 here. Yeah, because one of these 2 has to be dark, at least. Which means you can only afford 1 dark cell in the remaining 7 up here. And this can't ever be it, because it'll leave something else disconnected. Okay, that's a start. Progress being extremely slow on this puzzle. Can both of these be dark? Can it be light and light? Which means dark, dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it can. This has to connect to one of these 2, I think. I don't think this can be alone. Right? Like, this would have to be dark, and then up, and then left, and then it can't go anywhere. So this has to connect to one of these 2. But that's not conclusive as to which one. If it connects here, that's very conclusive. If it connects up there, no matter what, though, this is not part of this 4. This could still be part of this 3. So this isn't guaranteed dark. Wait, no. Regardless of which way this goes, it has to go left or up. And then in either case, this can't be part of this 4. So this does have to be dark. Because if this goes left, that's a 4. And if this goes up, it's got to connect to this 4. So it's got to take one of these two, and then that's the 4. You can still get 4 on your own. Exactly 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, can this be light? If this is light, both of these are dark? 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4. But then it needs both. Okay, it can't be light here. Ah, so this does need to connect to the 4 here. So this needs to go up. One of these two needs to connect here. Because this cannot be light and part of the 4. So it needs to be dark. Real progress. We're going to have like 80% of these regions be 1 or 2 blocks away from being solved before we're going to be able to go back and solve any of them. If this is light, this is dark, which leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one of these is 6. If this is light, though, that still leaves the extra for here. It's the question of, like, whether or not both of these can be light, right? Can this be the 4? How does this 3 work? This 3 could still be both of these, right? And then dark, 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 dark. This 4 extends left. Maybe we take that to paint. What if this is the 3? That means dark, 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 dark. Now this 4 needs to at least go there. This can still connect either way. I don't know what this means. I don't know if this means anything. This isn't helpful. Alright, let's try theorizing about some of the other numbers. This 4 now needs 2 of these 3. Can it be these 2? That means dark, dark. This has to connect to this. And it can't connect through here. If this is light, then this is screwed. So this has to be dark, one way or the other. If this is part of this 4, then this 3 has to connect up to here. Which means this is connecting down to here. That connects to there. Alright, once more to paint. If this is light as part of this 3, we have dark and dark. So light here. So dark and dark and dark. This goes to here. That has to go down to here. One of these two connects, so this is dark. And now this 3 can go at most right 1. So this has to be light. Which means this is dark. So this has to connect there. This is dark. There. This is dark. Light, light. Dark, dark. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do believe we have found ourselves an owl. Odd. I wouldn't have expected that to work. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear it. All right. So now how do I get further up? It looks like I have to go through this crystal maze if I want to go further up. And I'm not sure how to do that. Oh, through here. Wait, I've been in here. We've solved this maze. For some value of solved. Wait, there's echoes in this maze? Oh, I think I was trying to do this and bailed. Because it was annoying. Oh no, it's already done? It's already done? I already did it. Alright, so how do we get up from here? Do I go up from here? Does this open? No, this is also sealed off. Is there no up? Are there no uppies? There. That looks like something I haven't done yet. Maybe let's go and do that. Also, where was I hearing... On the side here somewhere? Huh. Well, regardless of what else I do, here is a 4-star. I know I heard an arch. Where's the arch that I heard over here? There. Great. Looking at the bottom 3 mirrors the top one. Pigeonholed another dark cell in. Yeah, that's fair. It sounded like there's a few ways to gain a little bit more information there. I guess it's just lucky that the one thing I tried led to a complete solution. Alright. Connect all dark cells and connect all light cells. Well, that's exciting. Don't make this pattern. Alright, well, this can't be light. There we go. I did it. I started. So, how do I move on from here? One of these two needs to be light, but it could be either of them. They could both be light, in fact. Could even be dark all the way around? Is that possible? No, if it's dark all the way around, that leaves a lot of light intermediate. I feel like that's not going to be possible, but it's a very specific hypothetical. One of these two needs to be light. Could be both. Could be either. It's not super helpful. These need to touch in some way. Need to connect all the light cells. I guess another way to think about these rules is any given block of 4 needs to have at least one light and one dark. I don't know if that's helpful. But like looking over here at this corner, this could be light, 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 right? But if any of these are dark, then the other preceding ones have to be dark. But they could just all be light. And then dark, dark, and then what? And then that's it. That's all I got. Doesn't really get me anywhere. Same thing is true down here. One of these two has to be dark, but they could also both be dark. They just can't both be light, because they can't seal this off. What does that mean for me? Not a whole lot. I do have to be careful not to make checkerboard patterns, right? So it can't be like dark light, for example. Yeah, if this is light, this has to be light. But of course, if this is light, yeah, obviously this has to be light because it has to get out. But like, same here, if this is light, this has to be light. But either of these could be dark. If this is dark, this has to be dark? Is that a problem? Dark light after that. There's a lot of ways for this to play out. And I'm not sure how to determine a next step yet. I guess it still could be fully dark all the way around the edge. But we can only have light at one edge point. So, like, if this is light, all of the other edges need to be dark. This cannot be full dark, but it could be dark, dark, light. Is there anywhere where an edge needs to be light? You've got an idea, Earl? Good for you. I like seeing when chat has epiphanies. Can these both be dark? Does one of these two need to be light? Like if this is dark, both of these are dark, and both of these are dark, does that cause problems? And we have light here, light there. It feels like the next step is determining which of these edges can't be light. Because I know no two zones can be light, but any one of these zones feel like they could be light. Like if this is light, maybe it is just dark all the way around. Like we can have light in here, or like this could be light or something like that. Not versed enough in this game for whole puzzles, but you can fake it for a few tiles. Yeah, I mean, it's still fun, even if you're only making a little bit of progress. What am I missing in terms of how to connect all of this? Like, there's a coherent thought in here somewhere, and it's not quite connecting enough to make it onto the board? Like, what can I rule out, given what I know about where light cells can be on the edge? These can't both be light. That's not true. These could both be light. And then this is light and this is dark. All right. We're going to try something and see what happens. Because, like, if this is light, light has to connect out, right? So light has to go out like that. And then all of this has to be dark around the edges. But then we have light here and light here. And then what? And then what does this mean for me? Can I then do something silly like this? Like, this has to be dark. Like that, and then this can't be light or dark. So not exactly. But with here, one of these has to be dark, right? And it could be here, and then we have to do this and this, which means dark here. And now this has to connect out. And these have to connect. So yeah, this doesn't work. What about this doesn't work? The fact that these need to connect. What's up, Ender? This, I think, is the mess here, right? One of these two needs to be light. And now this needs to connect back to the dark. Yeah, this is the checkerboard. That's impossible. That's impossible. That's the part that's impossible. Is this specifically, right? So if this is dark, this needs to be light. And then this needs to be dark, but also, because of the checkerboard, needs to be light. So this can't be dark. This has to be light. And then we can do like dark and light. This has to be light here. And now we have a checkerboard, so this needs to be light. And then this needs to be dark. And this needs to be dark, so this needs to be dark here. And light connects out, and that's the owl. Huh. It's always so weird to me when I start a hypothetical with a correct assumption. Where is there a... Oh, this is a 2x2 here. That's not going to work. Yeah, this is like, needs to be light and dark because of the thing. So does this just flat out not work, no matter how I try it? Because now one of these two needs to be dark. And we've already determined this can't be dark, because this now needs to be light and dark here. So this needs to be dark. So light, so dark, so light, so light, so dark, so light. And now this needs to be light here, which means this needs to be dark. And now this needs to be both dark and light. Okay, so yeah, this can't be light in this corner. Cool. In fact, that might extend all the way to, like, this has to be dark as well. Because, like, I think we run into the same initial problem if this is dark. Right? Like, this is now the same setup. If we have any light on the outside, we end up with this problem here. Which we've determined doesn't work. So I think this needs to be dark. I suspect we might actually be able to do this regardless of where light goes on the edge. If I put light on the edge anywhere, then it ends up not working because of the arrangements of light in the center and the need to put dark everywhere else. Well, I guess this needs to be light now. And now we have this situation and this situation. And I don't know what that means. Alright. Well, now we're going to try it from the other side. Right? If this is light now, then light has to extend out like this. This dark has to go up there. This dark has to go all the way around. So this has to be light. And now we have this checkerboard here. This checkerboard here, I think, is what was the problem, right? So now we imagine this is dark. So this is light. And then this is both the checkerboard and the 2x2. So if this is light, that makes a 2x2. If this is dark, that makes a checkerboard. Whereas if this is dark here, now this needs to be light. Now we have a checkerboard, so that needs to be light, and that needs to be dark. These need to connect up. This needs to be light now because of this corner. And now this is a checkerboard, so that needs to be light. And then this needs to be dark. And this needs to be dark. This being dark here seals it off. Here. Now we have this arrangement. I feel like there's this arrangement of, like, this corner combined with this empty here means this needs to be dark and then this needs to be light. Except it's the two corners side by side. Because this already needs to be dark. And this needs to be dark, which makes a checkerboard, which is illegal. And I'm not sure where specifically it's hitting the problem. So I keep trying other hypotheticals that run into pretty much the same problem without finding the root of the problem. Yeah, one of these two needs to be dark and the other needs to be light. If we do this, now we need to do that. Dark, light, light, and then we have the checkerboard problem, so not this spot. And if we do this, that's light. This now has to be dark, except it can't be. If this is dark, we run into the checkerboard. And if it's light, we run into the 2x2. So that can't work either. So this can't be light. This has to be dark here. And I think I can go kind of hypothetical by hypothetical and rule out each edge region. Right? Like, what if this is light? That means that connects here. And the rest of this is dark. So now this needs to be light. Which means we need dark here or here, and that's worrisome. Dark here means light like that, light here, and this is a problem. This is the same problem. This keeps being a problem here. Right? And I think that's a problem because of this. Well, because of this. So, light in any of these three regions causes this to occur. Here, or here, or here. And in this situation, if this is light, we need to either go dark here, so light here. And one of these two needs to be dark. Hang on. Start this over. Dark here means light here means illegal. Dark here means light here means light like that because of checkerboard. Well, we're starting with this theory, right? Light in any of these three regions causes this to occur. Which this, yes, this thing is extremely illegal. Because that means light here, and then this needs to be both light and dark. Whereas this causes this. And now this is actually like a little bit open? I guess if this was light specifically, then we have to go like that. Then we have dark the rest of the way around. This is light. This is dark here. This being dark means light here. Which means this checkerboard means light there. And this is a problem. So this light is also a problem. What about here, for example? That means we have to do this. Which means light here. And then this is already illegal. Right? Because light, yes. So this... Now what? At least one of these two needs to be dark. So it could be light and then dark. But like, just for convenience sake, let's say that. Let's not start there, actually. Let's start here. Because we know that this needs to happen. So this needs to be dark. So this needs to be light. Which means this needs to be light. Which means this needs to be dark. Which means this needs to connect. Which means this needs to be light. And this needs to be dark. Is this legal? This looks legal, actually. I do believe we have found our owl. Yes. Yes. All right. I was playing with the top left, determined 1 to 3 could be light. Uh-huh. Therefore, the inner corner had to be light. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because at least one of these four needs to be light. So this one is required to be light. Because if any of these three are light, this one's light. Yeah, no, I see what you're doing. Okay, yes. That would have been a good start, actually. That's really good. Well, it's the same height whether I'm floating or not. Interesting. So how do I get anywhere from here? It feels like I ought to be able to get into the top part of the pyramid. But I'm not sure how. Am I missing that, like, one of these glass panels is open or something? Nothing from this side. Doesn't seem like it. And it doesn't seem like I can come up from the center area. Start throwing rocks. I don't think I can pick up rocks. I think rocks are not one of this game's verbs. Alright, well, I'm not convinced that I can actually get up from here, so maybe I can go down. Enclosed jump pad on the dirt. On the dirt? Oh, you mean over here? This bit. Oh! Why? 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 Why would it... Why would you think to do that? That's not how enclaves usually work. Oh, I guess the icon does change. So there is at least a minor visual indicator. And it does look like the path just walks directly into it. I have to notice that the icon, that the UI shifts slightly, right? That the mouse indicator changes there. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. All right, well, we can try these guys, I guess. Well, there's only one place with floating bricks. And I have to be looking out towards... towards steps? Maybe I need to be up on top of those? No, it feels like I need to be further away from those in order to get the right... I barely see that one dot puzzle at the bottom. Little raised red thing. Here? No. Maybe if my eyes were more lasery. Are you saying I have to be Lorelei in order to figure out this puzzle? Oh. That's there. Do I have to be in the bottom part in order to get this? I think I need to be lower down in order to get this. Not that I necessarily know how to get into the lower part of the pyramid. Okay, this is out, which is all well and good. Reflect on what you have learned. You can't make me. Can't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. But it sure does feel like I need to go down in order to get this Sightseer resolved. Here. 7 of 10. Okay. Because this is like the middle part of the pyramid. So I think I have to discard this. And maybe we'll come back once I have unlocked more pyramid in this pyramid. Although there is still this and the other pattern one that I didn't like. I remember looking at this and being like, nope, I hate it. Oh, I get this. This is an inversion. A dark cell, not an inversion. Dark cell is a rotation, 90 degrees, right? This is 2 rotations. Yeah. And a light cell is just a swap. So a mirroring. So this becomes light. And then rotates is light. So this rotates light to here, swaps light to here, rotates light to here, rotates, so from here, it goes here, and then here, right? There. And then swaps to there, and then swaps again, and then rotates, and then rotates, and then rotates. Man, I want to say something full of hubris, like, I am so good at patterns, but I know there's that other pattern up here that I was staring at for like an hour and couldn't figure out. So maybe a little bit less hubris. Maybe put a little bit less English on that one. Because I still haven't figured this one out. I know nothing about what's going on here. The only thing I know about this is dark. Because I used a foresight. But I don't understand what the connection is here with what's going on. Does it make more sense now that I've come at it again after 2 weeks of not looking at it? Not really. The folly of mankind is myth. What a statement. It doesn't seem like there's any mirroring here. Also thought about this one and did not make progress. Fair. I could just hit foresight until the puzzle's solved. There's only 6 cells I need to fill in. But then I still wouldn't understand what it's doing. Because it doesn't seem like it's a direct correlation between the bottom row and the top row, right? Like, this is too white, this is white. This is too white, this is dark. So something else is going on here. But a given one of these cells can't correlate to too many of the cells on top of it, because there's not, like, extra cells on the outside, right? This can't be, you know, these 4, because then this doesn't have stuff to pull from. And it doesn't feel like this is supposed to be 2 separate rows, otherwise they would separate it, right? It would be a row and then a row and then another row. So it feels like this is supposed to be taken together. And based on what I'm seeing on this, I can determine what I'm supposed to be seeing here, and vice versa, right? Some relationship between the top pair of rows and the bottom row. And I still haven't put it together. And looking at it isn't helping. Alright, we're leaving. We gotta go solve more mysteries before I can do anything in the Vault of the Vitric. Too Vitric, this vault. Alright, what is your deal? Where is red? Where is your red? I don't remember seeing a red like that anywhere here. I gotta be able to solve this, though. Basement of the Vitric. Sure. From here, can I get to that green? Yeah. Not from here. From, like... here, though, I can. So where's the barely hidden red visible from here? Green in the wall. Oh my god. Okay, so there's 2 hidden reds that I still need. There's one of them. Nice. Alright, one more hidden red out here somewhere. Matchboxes, though. In the tree, maybe? Oh. There's rings. How many rings did I just get? It was like 7 rings. Still not seeing any more red matchboxes. Strawberry flavored matchbox, right? Honestly, they're probably cherry flavored. Because that red is a little too red. A little bit too deeper red. I would not want to drink a cherry flavored matchbox. Because you know it's going to be that like super fake cherry. Like slushy cherry. It's actually pretty tropical. You bet it's watermelon. It might be watermelon. I would believe that. Alright, back to climbing on bricks. Maybe this vantage will get me something. Here's a matchbox. It's the wrong one. It's already solved. What if it's invisible? What if it's an invisible matchbox? What if it's a hidden matchbox? Like the hidden cubes, except a matchbox. The greener the rind? I would never drink a rind-flavored matchbox. That's some real poor marketing. Hell is it? Does seem like it might be in a tree somewhere. But it's red. It should stand out. How are you going to camouflage a red matchbox amidst the green of the leaves? It's solved. In addition to being green. Maybe it's just like attached to a ceiling or roof or something? Under here, like embedded in the rock, barely poking through? They've done that a couple of times now. Mostly with the green ones, though. Alright, I don't care anymore. We are done with pyramids for today. Because there's no way I'm solving 3 mysteries in one session. Mysteries are ridiculous. Alright. If you're going to be here, let's find out where you're going. Okay. Where did it go? I mean, it failed. So that's something. I missed. Terrible news. There we go. All the way down to the other side? Wow. I was not expecting that. All right. Well... which of the many available mysteries do I feel like I can resolve? That's the next step, right? Go solve mysteries? I could also just go do enclaves that I haven't, because there's still a bunch of those. Right? Think outside the sphere. I've never been in this enclave. Any schemes involving this structure? I mean, this is the Vault of the Vitric. So, all of the stuff that we've been doing was inside here. Oh, I want to get up there. I found a floating island. I want to go floating. So, like, we've done some stuff in here. I think I'm going to need a little more height. Fortunately, I can get more height. Well, have I been here? Have I done these? Incredible. Imagine seeing puzzles and they're already solved. That'd be pretty cursed, actually. Like, wandering around and just seeing puzzles that have already been solved by someone else. And it's like, oh. That's a bummer. Involved in pyramid schemes? I guess so. I mean, I'm not doing any schemes. But there are mysteries. We're mostly involved in pyramid mysteries. There's the entrance. Ah, there's your friend. Get resolved, idiot. Oh. Hey, look, a hidden archway. A somewhat hidden archway. Yeah, I should probably go back to the mysteries and figure out which, if any, I feel like I have a line on potentially resolving. But in the meantime, it's pretty easy to just keep on doing whatever is directly in front of me, since there are a lot of things that are directly in front of me. like this light motif. What do you think? We see that. Oh, hello. Heard you making archway noises. Is this lore down here? Damn, there's lore that I never looked at? There's this whole pyramid full of logic puzzles I never looked at? Those who seek without finding gain more than those who find without seeking. Ah, yeah, that's, the journey is the important part. Alright, I guess. Oh, hello, Hidden Archway. Let's find out what's going on here, I suppose. 2 for 1. Oh, it's two puzzles in one. They're very similar to each other, with only minor differences. And now this puzzle, we have to do kind of the same thing. Yeah, sure. A door closed as you entered a puzzle chamber, the thing resetting behind someone. Trying to remember what specific antechamber thing you're talking about, because there was a lot of things in antechamber that changed based on how you were looking at it or the direction you approached from. Don't make this pattern. Really? No curves ever. And connect all dark cells, sure. Okay. So starting with that, this can't go left or right, so it has to go exactly up. Interesting. Exactly one symbol per dark area, and exactly one symbol per light area, sure. So these have to connect, and they still have to connect. This can't connect now to that. But this does need to connect to something, so probably the 9. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it has to be exactly that. Okay. These two can't touch, so they need to be separated. So this needs to come down to the 9. This can't connect to the 6, because that's too many. So this has to be light here. That'll connect to the 6. This needs to connect to the 9 through here. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of these two is dark. Interesting. It feels like that could be either way. It's probably this has to be light and this has to be dark. This 5 has to have that. Or 5, so that has to be 6. It's that. This cannot be light on its own, so that has to be dark. So that has to connect through there. If this is light here... Oh, there needs to be light separating these two, so it has to be like that. There we go. Hidden puzzle box! Don't make this pattern. Wow, okay. That looks like it's 1, 2, 3, and then a turn. So like 2 spaces between it, so here? Is that right? I think it is. To here. To here. To here and here. 1, 2, here and here. Now this, 1, 2, here and here. There. This one, here and there. This one, here, there. This one here. Uh, 1, 2, so there. And then the same holds true over here, right? This has to work out exactly the same way, given the same starting position. And then this one has to be dark also. Great. So now it's like the 9 versus the 5. Something has to be different? Well, at least one of these two needs to be light. So one of these two needs to be dark. So one of these two needs to be light. Yeah, once I figure out any other piece, the rest has to fall in. So how do we make this 9? And then maintain this kind of checkerboard. 5 is actually easy. Because it's just 5 all the way across. So I guess this is 9 all the way down? Got it. That's a weird one. Exactly 1 symbol per area. All right. So this then needs to be a part of the 7? Which means this needs to be a part of either the 5 or the 7. Not that one. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Ah, if there's dark here, it doesn't work. So these two need to both be light. Like, they can't be light in here, so this needs to be part of the 7. There can be light in here. 3, 4, 5. This could connect, though. Or this could connect, but not both. So this can't be dark. Because if this is dark... Can this be dark? I guess it can. Yeah, it could be neither. Neither of these could be part of the 7. But there does need to be dark down here to separate the 5 and the 7. One of these two needs to be part of the 5. If this is part of the 5, then both of these are part of the 5. They can both be part of the 5, though, so this could still be dark. But this one is guaranteed part of the 5. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This could still go anywhere here. If this is light, then this is dark. Because this would need to be part of the 7. If this is dark, then this is light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is light, this is dark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We make a progress. If this is dark, then light, light. If this is light, then light, light. Regardless, dark. And now this can't be dark. Five, 6, 7. Great. Is there another, like, puzzle box hidden back here? Oh, there totally is. Eh? These are some uncool S's. Don't make this pattern. I see. What does that mean for me? That means this has to be light. And this can't be light. And this can't be light. Ah! This is the pattern that means we make squares. That's what this is. Or rectangles, rather. It means that we have to do a grid of rectangles. So that means... Said I was going to do this next time. I think I still am. That means that we can see where the color separations are. And there has to be rectangles across this grid separator, right? Separator here. Separator here. This has to separate up or down, up. This has to separate either here or here, somewhere in this corner. And it can't separate here, so it has to separate here. And this is the grid for this. This has like a separator here. And a separator here. This has to either separate left or this has to separate this way or this way. This has to separate this way. This has to separate vertically. This is separated. That's good. No horizontal here. Could be horizontal here. But if there's no horizontal here, this is dark. If there's no horizontal here, this is dark. And this is already dark. So no here, here. Here they have to separate. And that looks legal. Okay. So that's light and dark here. And then it's these. And then it's this and this. And then over here, we have 3 and 4 in columns. Great. understood the assignment. Don't make 3 in a row and connect all dark cells. Okay. Right, so these two cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's 3 in a row. They cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, because that separates a dark. They cannot be 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's 3 in a row. So they have to be separated. Which means at least one of these two is dark, which means at least this is dark. This could also be dark. It doesn't need to be, but it could be. But if one of these two is guaranteed dark, this one has to be dark. Let's talk about this 5. What do we know about this 5? It's paired across the doorway? It is paired across the doorway. Yep. Yeah, it's the same arrangement, just different rules. But now, instead of not turning, it can't make straight lines. It has to turn. But there's a lot of arrangements with turns, whereas there's not a lot of straight line arrangements. Well, this cannot go up at this point, because then it would also have to go down. So this has to come out like that. Good start. And then it feels like there's a lot of ways for this to do a thing. It can't be like this. I guess it can be like that. Since it can be like that, it must be like that. Great. Enclave complete. Give me that miracle. Alright, now what's up with you? Do you have a friend out here somewhere? Ah, you do, in fact. Found your friend. Oh, look, a leitmotif. Alright, random logic grid. Let's do it. Ah, let's not make some patterns. Okay. Could be these 3, or it could be 3 across. It cannot be 3 across, because then this would make a 2x2. Neat! Should we do, hit hello? Aw, look, it's a little 1 dot. It's a 1 dot. You don't see 1 dots these days. Alright, and then fill in everything else. Excuse me. Connect all light cells. Sure. Hold on. We did something here. Connect all light cells. Okay. Okay. We nailed it. Nailed it. Everything's great. There. Connect all light cells. Connect all light cells. This is in fact walled off. Connect. There we go. Wow. For a 1 dot, that was like a more involved than I expected. Alright, let's find some hidden relics. Hidden relics are fun. Everybody loves hidden relics. Boop. You know what I love about hidden relics? Is this isn't hidden relics in the Vault of the Vitric. It's not hidden relics in the Archipelago of Curiosities. So it's like a normal hidden relics puzzle with normal hidden relics puzzle rules, and not relics that exist in like a plane all the way across the zone. Just like way more manageable. If I'm gonna play hide and go seek, I want it to be manageable. Oh, this... Okay, that... I see what's going on here. Here? Here? Yeah, got him. All dark regions have area 3. Fantastic. I love area 3. Now what? That's the only rule, though. Ah, okay. That's why it works. I understand now. Well, show me more easy puzzles. I like easy puzzles. Suddenly feels like reverse Ice House? What is Ice House? Connect all dark cells. Okay. Oh, not that necessarily. What is Ice House? Ice House Pyramids, now called Looney Pyramids. What is that? That's not a thing I'm familiar with. I bet if you describe the puzzle, I'll be like, oh, that kind of puzzle. But I don't... I don't know it by that name. Have I played Zendo? Zendo isn't the physical board game with the shapes that you have to stack the shapes according to rules. Is it? It is. Okay, so I guess I have played Zendo. Those pyramids? There's pyramids in Zendo? Nope. I still have no idea what you're talking about. I'm still completely lost here. This needs to be dark. That was the trick. It was played with pyramidal pieces. Okay. I'll believe that there's pyramids involved, but you're just talking about the shape of the piece. Right? Now what? This needs to connect, so that can't be there. These need to connect. This needs to connect, so light and light. Hey! Right, I was gonna... Hello? Somebody's shining at me. Aha! Dang. Noisy. Oh. I see you. Don't think I don't see you, buddy. You're definitely seen. Chat, do you feel seen? This is the one that's not moving? It's got to be on this edge somewhere. Confusing. The other edge is moving though, right? Very slowly. Very slowly. All right. Yeah, take your time if you want to. I got logic grids to solve. Oh. It's 5. Can't talk to that one. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Can't be there. Can't be there. Ah. You were never seen. Looney Labs publishes pyramidal plastic game components that were always envisioned as a system with which many games could be played. The original game for the pyramids was called Ice House. Ah, okay. Yes. I think I am familiar with the component. And also, I have never played Ice House. Hardly anybody has. All right, fair enough. What's going on here? That works. And then these need to do that. And then that. Perfect. Do you still make noise at me? Looks like you do. Interesting. I'm gonna go turn in this quest for currency that I will definitely use ever. Perspective puzzles. Sure. I guess matchboxes are perspective puzzles? It's believable. I don't see any reason for it not to be true. Don't make this pattern. You got it, buddy. Connect all dark cells. Okay. This is interesting. They can't both be dark. One of them has to be light. And if it's light here, then it's dark, dark, dark. So it's got to be light here, and then dark, dark. This has to be light. There we go. We do need to go mystery hunting at some point. I don't even care about match threes. Match threes are so annoying. Pachoom. Think I can handle this one. This looks pretty likely. Oh, that pattern completed. There. Wow, it can shine at me from outside of grabbing range? That's wild. And then this feels like a matchbox needs to live in this hole. Oh, I know where those are. Those are out here. That's this. So that needs to be like this angle. God, it's so close. Just let me click you. Oh. There it is. I missed that this needed to be in the way. I guess I need to find a Sentinel Stones. And a leitmotif. That one's already solved. That's not helpful. Leitmotifs are everywhere, but sentinel stones are not everywhere. Hey, look, a leitmotif. Sentinel stones. Yeah, nailed it. Right dead center. Oh, hello. All right, am I ready to go do mysteries? Maybe now I'm ready to go do mysteries. Well, are Skydrops not perspective puzzles? Side of the wall. There we go. Sure, where do you go? Fine. Oh, I hate these. We have that, and then what? Sure. It's like, I feel like I could do those so much better, and I don't ever want to. Where do I go to deal with mysteries? I guess I go look at the mysteries. Alright, let's go look at the mysteries. That seems to be the most important thing to be working on now. Find out which of these mysteries seem manageable. I guess I could look at them from my menu, but that seems less fun. Within the cloud, another drop awaits. Okay, so drop here must mean sky drop. However, to see the whole silver lining of a storm cloud, one must view it from afar. Okay, yes. And given my understanding of how Skydrops works, that makes sense. You align the storm clouds from further away, and then when you click them, they light up. So where are their storm clouds? Alright, let's see if we can figure out this storm clouds business. Although, the image that it shows me is an interesting temple-looking place, right? This image. Where do I think this is? It's got circles. Does that tell me enough about what possible location this could be in? This isn't Zone 3. It could be Zone 4? I know it's not Zone 3. That's all I got. The other 4 zones all feel like they could have this kind of construction in it. Maybe not 2. 2 doesn't have this kind of big edifice. 1 is more ruined. Like, you don't find bigger construction, so it's probably 4 or 5. My guess is 4. But that could be 5. Let's take a look at 5. Oh my god, look at all these sky drops. They're everywhere. Y'all really gotta not be in the way. Looks like yet another job for Jim the janitor. Yes, okay. We gotta crawl our way to that one, which means starting from up here. Too much of a fall. There we go. So I'm here to look for ruins or bigger constructions, as well as storm clouds. This could be the right kind of building. And there is a convenient matchbox in it to verify. This doesn't have the open ceiling. Okay. So that ain't it. What is that? Logic grid, I guess. Wrong target. How dare you? Is this the right kind of temple? It's not open at the top. But otherwise, I think it's the right kind of temple. What does blue mean? Does blue mean fly? I think purple means fly. I think green means stand still. Maybe blue means don't look. I don't think blue means crawl. I guess it could. Wish I remembered what Shiora's meant. Is this the right kind of temple? Make make noise at me. This could be the right kind of temple. It's just not open at the top. Guess I'm willing to do this. There we go. You're not open either. Maybe these aren't the right kind of temple? I think this is the right kind of temple. We just need to find the one that's actually open at the top. Is it overcast? Yeah. Within the cloud, another drop awaits. Oh, this is so hard to see from this, though. Like, that's such a small view of the picture. Within the cloud. Only works with clouds. It's talking about storm clouds. So where do I think is a good view of storm clouds that aren't just part of the skybox? Also, which one of these temples is open at the top? These are the right... I think this is the right kind of construction. Yeah, it's got these circles on the top. Is this one open? This is open, but this is too small, I think. But there are these things. So I guess let's do something here. Don't make this pattern, okay? Interestingly, I can make that pattern with light cells, like not reversed. Okay. Yes, I can do this. I just can't. So any instance of a dark cell needs to be part of a rectangle. And 1x1s are rectangles. These are all rectangles. And here, I can't make it go all the way out to there, so these have to be rectangles on their own. The rectangle pattern! Okay, yeah, great. I think I've been following these rules with a little bit of nudges from chat in other puzzles. It's a good thing that there's actual insights about it. When avoiding a 2x2 pattern with 3 dark cells and 1 light cell, the dark regions must form rectangles unless corners are cut out of the grid. And now the light cells also need to form rectangles. So this is now the grid pattern. And this is where the being able to draw the lines comes into play. So this goes out to there. And then swaps. Okay, this is just a full-on checkerboard. Which one do I do next? I don't know. Don't make this pattern. Okay, this needs to be a rectangle. I did it. I made it a rectangle. I guess it needs to be like 6. And then 2. No. Because one of these 3s needs to be across. So it needs to be like this. Like that. So this is interesting, because it just has to be that. Now this is cornered here, so it has to be that. And that means this is cornered this way. Oh. Okay, now all of them need to make their own grid. So 8. 4? Does that work? 8, 4? Because the 12 and 6 here feels like it's 12 and 6. That actually does work. Then it could be 4, and then it could be 8. There we go. So the only way 9 makes a rectangle is 3 by 3. Which means this 6 has to be that. Yep. Complete? What about this guy? Who's this guy? Oh, now there's a hole in the center. Okay. Lots of holes. Lots of holes. Great. Love that. Okay, so this needs to connect up like that. And now we have this situation. Which means based on this, there's a dividing line here. And cannot be a line here. So, like that. Fascinating. 5, eh? And it can't curve around this. So it's got to be like that. $11. 8, 12, 13. 13, okay. So that's fine. Confusing. Okay, so this has to go around this curve at minimum. Right? They all have to go around their curves. And then we can figure out where their next two numbers are. This is a dividing line here. And a line here. And a line here. And a line here. This needs both of these. Excuse me? 7. And then needs another 2? Oh, I was wrong in my initial assumption about how this works. That could be it. And then like that. There we go. Needed to steal from one of the other regions. Head in the clouds. Why head in the clouds? That is a strange naming convention for that conclave. Enclave. It did talk about capital C clouds in the mystery. These are really big lines. I think they have to connect to that. Alright, mystery hunting is on hold. I found a 1-star. Connect all dark cells and connect all light cells. Okay. One of these two is dark. No. There is a dark on this edge and a dark on this edge. Which means this is required. And this has to be light. So that can't be dark, so that has to be light. This now has to connect through here somehow. I think actually with that dark, that has to be like that. If this is light, this and this are dark, so that has to be dark, which means the light connects through here. Which means that's for 3. And then this needs to be dark. Cool. I like that one. That's good. The initial epiphany cracked that pretty wide open, which is great. Like, that makes me feel real smart. I love that. Maybe there's something down here? Huh. This isn't helpful. But this is interesting. And easy. Don't make this pattern. Okay. Great. This is interesting. Because it's like, of these 3, 2 are guaranteed dark. And it can't be these 2 both. Because the pattern. So this has to be dark. So here, likewise, it can't be both of these 2. So this has to be dark. And here, likewise, same deal. That means this can't be light. This is now resolved. This needs that. And this is already resolved. And now we need to connect all light cells. So that goes through here, and here, and here. And this can be dark. Is there any reason that this has to be either dark or light? This has to be light. This has to be light. This has to be light. Cute. There was already a mystery in this region. So it seems unlikely that this exact temple will hold another mystery. my god, get clicked. Ugh. Hmm. There we go. I don't like this. This is not a lot of room. Oh, I don't like this at all. What's up, Anvar? How's it going? This is kind of gross. How do I turn? I guess like that? Oh, I have to be airborne for so long here. And also not catch the crossbeam. Damn it. Maybe if I start this way, it's easier? I doubt it. Why? Ease. Yeah, that crossbeam is a trial. I don't know how to turn. I don't know how to turn in midair. Alright, whatever. It's thinking of itself as solved, so I guess I'll let it go. I didn't do well. I wanted to do better. It's irritating. Best 20. I guess 20 was like exactly bronze? Yeah, that is constantly how I do this, Anvar, is I give up and then try again. Like, no, I'm done with this. Eventually. That didn't go any better. But I do kind of like that angle. I just need to not hit the column. That column. Okay, that has possibilities. That's hitting the crossbeam. That's hitting the column. Yep. That tile puzzle. No, actually, I didn't. I solved everything else that I had access to in that section of the pyramid. And then, left. Ah, okay. So that's bronze. 20 is bronze. $21. Yeah, I don't know how to keep my height and still go around those corners. Heinous. You touched the ground. I sure did. You're so right. Rude. This is already solved. Wild. It's another weirdly big leitmotif. There we go. Sure. Back at the same cloud temple. This is not the right temple. Continues to not be the right temple. All right, I'll take that. Sure. You know, as long as we're here, we might as well find some hidden relics. Sounds like a good time. It's a big bubble. Oh. It is a big bubble, actually. Peek over the edge and then pull back. Hello. Oh, wait. Hidden in the cherry blossoms? Camouflaged? Alright, there's 4. So now we can wait and have the last one be easy. This is the only red. this work? 5 and 6. Yes, this will eventually work. No, this will never work unless I do this. Or... Yes, perfect. Except now we gotta get green lined up. Interesting. Cool. Weird. Now green isn't lined up again. Now red isn't lined up. Okay, this has to be the right arrangement of these two. So now it's just getting blue and yellow? Wrong blue? These two have to line up for this to work. Which means I have to hit this button again. Ooh. Okay, now these two are lined up for this purpose. Which means this will eventually work. Oh, gosh. All right. Where is the bubble now? I've lost the bubble. It always, like, freaks me out when the bubble is not centered on the thing. But at least we know where the bubble is. At least I found the bubble. Yeah, that was one of the harders of the ratio knob puzzles that I have run into. Required a little bit more foresight to actually come together. Foresight, forethought, for something. Hi. Okay, now. I'm looking at this big arrangement of leitmotif here. Trying to figure out where that gets seen from. Oh, look at all of this stuff. Sea serpents. An eye for detail. Are you? Okay. All dark areas have the same shape and size. And area 4. So all dark areas are a Z. 5, like that. Okay, sure. No two dark areas have the same shape and size. And yet still have area 4. So it can't be down and left. But it can be left and down, and it can be left and down. So it definitely includes that. Either down here or down here. And you likewise can't be a Z, but you can be a T or an L. If you're a T, I think this has to be the L. Oh, but then this... No, that doesn't work. This could be an I, actually. This could be an I all the way across. And then this could be a T. And that satisfies the 5. Like that. And then everything else is light. Don't make a T shape. And also connect all dark cells. I see. So this comes out and this comes out. This now has to go at least there. And this can only go one of these two directions, not both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at minimum for this 6. This cannot be dark now, because that would be a dead end. This cannot head into there, because that would be a dead end. So it needs to go like that. This also needs to go like that. This can't make a 2x2, because then anything branching out of the 2x2 is a T. So it has to go around the corner that way. This has to be light. This has to be light. If this connects here, they can't go anywhere else. So this can't connect here. And this needs dark here. If these connect here, then this is screwed. So it has to go around here in some way. Now this has to be light, and this has to be light, which means this is resolved and needs this around the corner. So we can do this, and that's resolved. Cool. Okay, I like these sets of puzzles. This is doing neat things. Don't make this pattern connect all dark cells. Oh, but now the viewpoint numbers are dark. That's cute. So this needs to come out to here, and this needs to come out to here. And it cannot connect... It's going this way, right? So this corner needs to be light like that. This needs to connect that way. So this 4 is now resolved. 4, 5, 6. This is now resolved. Needs to turn the corner. This needs a corner. 2, 3, 4, 5 at minimum. And then this could be like down that way and up, and that would work. So these don't necessarily need to be on corners. Like this one is not on a corner. Oh, but if this connects to this, this needs to find a way to connect back up, which doesn't work. So this needs to connect. Oh, because this is dark here, and it can't connect there, so it needs to connect this way. And this needs that. And then this is 5 already. And if this connects, that's 5. And then everything else is light. Cool. Yeah, these are fun. I like these. I like what they're doing here. Myopia arrows. All the closest cells of the opposite color. All dark regions have area 2. Oh, that's funny. If one of these two is dark, it's either dark dark or dark dark. All dark regions have area 2. Do these have to be the same? They can't be the same. This does need to point to something, so this needs to be dark. Which means this needs to be dark for this. Dark regions have area 2. This can't be dark now. So that means this has to be like that. And this has to be like that. And this needs both of these. Great. This, I think, cannot be dark. Because this 2 needs to be either these two or these two. It cannot be these two, because that leaves the dark isolated. Which means this has to be dark. And now one of these two is the dark, so this can't be dark. This can't be dark either. Cool. Oh, that came together pretty well, actually. Was worrisome at first, but eventually it resolved itself. Don't make this pattern, okay? Don't make this pattern, okay? Connect all dark cells. Okay. Connect all dark cells. And if I don't make this pattern, then we can't turn? Or we can't branch. Can turn, in fact must turn at some point, but can't branch. And also can't make 4 in a row. I think that means this can't go left. Because if it goes left, it goes up here. Can't make 4 in a row, across, up. Across can't make 4 in a row, this has to be light, so down. And if it connects here, I can't get these two. And if it goes down, that makes 4 in a row. So I think this needs to go that way. And then you just draw the rest of the owl? Not that way. Like this. Sure. Oh, now no rectangles. Interesting. And no T's. Well, no T's means that. And no rectangle. Only rectangles means not here. And connect all dark cells. It can only turn corners around empty spots. So that's like this. All right, so no 4 in a row and no T's, so we're snaking again. And we need to connect all dark cells. That's easy. That's easy. Is it impossible to do any other way? Feels like there's other ways to get this connection here. But whatever. Okay, now no T's and no turning around around light cells, only turning around empty cells. So if I start going in a direction, I cannot turn until I hit an empty cell. No Z's. Okay. Fine. Okay. And connect all dark cells. That's fine. That needs to come out. Only one of these two can be light. This needs a dark cell either here or here. So both of these need to be light. This is interesting. Because, like, if the 5 connects to this, it then can't go down. If this goes up, it then has to go left. So you end up with a square here. Or this could just go down all the way and then stay disconnected. Interesting. Let's see, where else do I have, like, an actual starting point? This can't be dark. Ah, there we go. If this is dark, these could all 3 of these be light. But if this is dark, this needs to be dark. Any dark in here means all three of these are dark. Does that mean much? I don't know if that means much. If this starts going down, it can't go up anymore. Since if this connects to these four, it's fully resolved already. This goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This now is completely sealed off. Because both of these need to be dark. So this ends up being dark like that. And this cell. How do I feel about that? Okay, mostly. Man, I thought the symmetry would play a bigger part in this, but the symmetry seems to be just single cells more often than not. Which, I mean, is a way of providing information. But, like, I want the symmetry to be big, you know? Can this connect to this? Yes. Sure. Yeah, no problem. The only problem is connecting to this one. Maybe. Even then, it's not much of a problem. Just means it can't connect down to the 3. The most it can get going down is 3. It can't connect to this. So the most it can get going up is 3. Right? Because it has to stop there at the very least. It can only get one more going to the right. So it has to connect here. Which means it can't connect here. 2, 3, 4. Now 5. Which means that connects. Can this connect? If this connects... goes down to here. Hold on. That's weird. If this connects, it goes down to here and to here. Which is too much for the 4. Okay, so the 4 can't connect here. The easy way to do it is just every single symmetry is completely walled off. Except that doesn't work here, so it's, you know, not a perfect solution. And this is dark, so this is dark, which means this has to go down to here. And then symmetry. This now has to be exactly that. Yes. Which means this now needs that. Which means that blocks off. Wait, what? Something is wrong. Something has gone terribly wrong. Because now that can't be light or dark. Why can't that be dark? 4, 5, 6. Okay. Whoa, did something wrong. How far back do I have to go before I find out what I did wrong? If this connects, these don't work. So this can't connect. And this can't, this now has to be dark there for this symmetry. And if these two are dark, then this has to do this. Which means this has to do that, and that, and that. Which means this is screwed. This tile is colored incorrectly. Not all light cells need to connect. Not all light cells need to connect, okay. I forgot that light cells don't need to connect, only dark cells need to connect. And I drew extra stuff out on this edge without needing to. Alright, we figured it out. And that's how I got this also, and how I got that. So let's go back to here. So from here, I can do the rest of the stuff over here that I was doing. This still can't connect, which means that needs to be true for symmetry. And this needs to be true for symmetry. And then this requires this, which requires that, and that, and that. And now that, and that. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So requires that, which requires that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this can't connect there. What else do we need to do for you? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. This needs to come out to here because dark all needs to connect. Likewise here. And then this dark needs to come out through there. And then dark needs to come across here. So this needs this. Great. Now this needs exactly this. And now this can't connect here. So that needs that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that needs that as well. All right. That looks a little better. See, it makes a lot more sense if you don't assume rules that aren't true are. You have to go based on the information you're given instead of information that you have generated whole cloth in your mind without any basis in reality. Because if you just invent facts, then I don't like where the sentence is going. But don't, is what I'm saying. Just don't. So what are we doing here? This now can't go down fully. So it needs to go either up or left, which means it needs to do both. These need to connect, and this needs to connect. Great. Miracles! And now there's another one? I love it. I love it. Give me more. I like this. I like what's going on here. I want to do it again. And this is the same puzzle with a slightly different arrangement of symmetries. Cool. I'm in. That needs to come out. That needs to come out. And this is harder, apparently. It's got an extra star. If this goes left, it goes all the way left. So it either goes all the way left or all the way down. So either both of these or both of these. File that information away. This 5 can go all the way up. What about left? Can it connect to this? If it connects here, that means this 6 is connected. So we have that whole wing. Is that fine? Maybe? Because this can now go all the way up. Whereas before it was restricted going up, so it needed to go left. What does that mean for me? You guys, I'm tired. I don't know if more caffeine is gonna fix this. I still want to finish this puzzle, but I'm definitely feeling like brain foggy. I might have to cut stream early here and like take a nap or something. But not till I get through this. That's gonna happen first for sure. I say for sure, presumably. That's gonna happen first, presumably. I guess we'll see how far I get. So these bigger numbers are a lot less restricted in terms of what they can connect to. Like this 4 connecting to this symmetry, right? If I connect this 3 to this symmetry, then it's, you know, pretty specific. Oh, all dark cells need to be connected. Let's remember that. If I connect this 3 to this symmetry, it's solved, right? It's resolved. So there's only 2 possible arrangements for this 3. These 3 and these 3. But this 7, if it connects to the symmetry, that doesn't mean a whole lot, right? 3 out of 7 isn't much. If this 5 connects here, the most it can go up and down is 1. It'd be 3, 4, 5. Or it could be 3 and then 4, 5 or something. Not 4, 5. It can't go. It can't connect all the way down to the 6. This symmetry cannot touch this 6. But like other things are possible. This 5 can just be 5 horizontally here. Completely. Or this 5 could just go straight up to this symmetry, and that's also fine. And then these two just can't touch. A lot of possibilities, and nothing seems like it's ruling itself out here. Like, if this 4 touches this symmetry through this spot, it doesn't say much about what the 4 is required to see. Whereas if the 4 touches this symmetry at all, both of these have to be light. Which means 3 of this 4 is resolved. But then any other dot, any other connection would also require symmetry. Because it's in this line of symmetry in the center of the it's on the symmetry axis. I think it can't touch at all. Because if it touches, if either of these are light, both of these are light. And then any other light that this can see has to be paired because it's on the axis of symmetry. So I think it can't touch at all, which means this has to be here because the most it can get here is 3, which means for this has to be here. And then I see this is here and this is here. Which means we're going there. Wow. I thought progress wasn't real, but here we are, making progress. So what about this 5 now? There's still nothing stopping this 5 from connecting vertically. Which would fully resolve it. It's too bad. I was hoping there was going to be something here that would make the 5 a little bit more restricted. Because it's restricted to the right by this 3. It can only get 3. It's restricted going down because of the edge. If it was restricted going up, then it would have to connect to the symmetry here, which would potentially reveal a lot of information about the puzzle. But I suppose not. I have a big hypothetical here, which I think is worth taking into paint. Because it's at the point... Hello? It's at the point where for this 5, if they connect, this has to connect here as well, and here, which means this 5 has 4. So it can't go down, because then it grabs the 3 extra. So this has to be dark, this has to be dark, this has to be light, which means this has to be light, and that's a contradiction point. So this 5 can't connect to the symmetry. Booyah. So now 3 going down, 1 going right. So if it connects to this 3, it can't. It just can't connect to the 3. So 1 more here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Requires this and is resolved. So requires that. And this needs to come out that way. And there. Because connect all dark cells. This one doesn't need to be mirrored, though, because it's not touching the symmetry. What about this? Does this need to be dark? This could be light here, and then the dark would come in around. This could also just be dark, right? Dark, dark. I don't see any reason why either of those can't be true. It does seem like whatever I was doing over here is pretty disconnected from the rest of the puzzle down here. Oh no, now this 6 has more information. Because I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and then a 5th up. But that's going to require at least that. 6 has a little bit more information. Not enough to get me anywhere. What about this 3? It'd still go right and down. Yeah, it still has a lot of stuff that it can do. The only restrictions posed by this 3 are how it restricts this 5. Maybe I could do something with a 7? It can get 3 going down. 4, 5, 6. It cannot get 7 going to the right here, because that would connect down to the 6 here. So this cannot go all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't even get this one, because that would also connect down here. So the furthest it can go to the right is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, 7 is required. Which means it can't connect to this at all. Now this 3 is resolved. And this can't connect here. This needs to come out and come out. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, the 6 is still fully free. This 5 probably gets it fully horizontally, but I guess could also go fully vertically. This doesn't seem like it needs to connect to anything in either way. Like, this could be dark or this could be light. Which probably means it has to be dark because this gets restricted. This is probably light out here. Or something. next step. The 5 can't go all the way to the right. The most it can go to the right is 3. It can get 5 horizontally here. No, it can't. If it touches here, it can't go right at all. So the most this 5 can get horizontally at all is 3. And this is 4, and this is 5, so that's required. So now there's the question of, is this light, and this is fully filled in? Or is this dark, and this is light, and it gets its extra here? Or I guess it could be these two is light, and then it gets its extra here? Can this be dark? If this is dark, this 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 needs this to be light. But if this is dark, this 5 is getting its 5 vertically. So it's dark, dark, dark. Which seems fine. Alright, we're drawing the rest of the owl one way or another. This is dark. Then this 5 has to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this 6 has to go across and up. So this needs to go up to here. And then this needs to be dark to get up and around. This needs to come down here and be dark. And this needs to be dark out to there. This is 5. This is 6. And this needs... This is connected. This needs to be dark here and light there. And that works. Yeah, that's an owl. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I am feeling the strain of my chosen lifestyle right now, and I don't think more caffeine is going to help. So I think what I'm going to do is call it and take a nap and hopefully feel better for evening stuff, and we'll see what happens at that point. But that's going to be the end of the stream, I think. Huh. So exhausted. What have I done to myself? Didn't get enough sleep. Yeah, no, that checks out, actually. That seems